We've all heard the common financial advice that if we want to get rich, we need to save our money. However, in reality, it's the opposite that's true. Those who become rich are often those who spend the most. However, it's what they spend their money on that really brings in the money. It's for this reason that I want to share with you 7 things frugal people can buy that will have your wealth growing by the day and will put you in a better financial position than just about every single person you know. Number 1. Other people's expertise. Ask the average person and they will tell you that they know a lot. Ask a frugal person and they will tell you that they know very little. You'd think the opposite would be true, but there's power in knowing that you don't know everything, and when you acknowledge this fact, you're destined to see your wealth grow over time. The truth is that we all only have so much time on this earth, and no one can master every craft. For example, I'm a CPA, therefore my strength lies in accounting and financial management. However, for the most part, this is about where my expertise ends. I have little skill in physics, medicine, the trades, and just about any other desirable skill a person could have. And you know what? That's okay, because with money, you can buy other people's expertise and use it to get ahead. Let me explain. One great example comes from my own space, which is in the area of tax. Many frugal people pay their accountants tons of money in order to save even more money when tax time rolls around. Now, sure, they could acquire this knowledge themselves, but this would take years and likely bore them to death in the process. However, frugal people understand that their money isn't just a vanity metric, but it's a tool to be used to build their wealth over time. And using it to acquire other people's expertise is a wise financial move. Let me share another example to illustrate just how powerful this technique can be. Let's say you want to start an app-based business, but have no idea how to make an app. You could spend years educating yourself on the matter, or you could hire an engineer and get started right away. Sure, it may cost you a bit of money, but the time saved is worth much more than the outlay, and in business, as you know, time is money. Therefore, as a frugal person, you need to understand that getting wealthy is a team sport. Those around you are pieces to your wealth-building puzzle, and the more knowledge you can pull together, generally speaking, the more financial success you will have. Number 2. Individual stocks. Chances are, the fact that individual stocks made it on this list is no surprise to you. However, why they made it onto this list may be for a reason you never even thought about. As such, let's get into why individual stocks can make for an excellent buy for those who would define themselves as a frugal person. You see, we all know that stocks are a great way to build wealth over time. As stocks rise in value, so does your net worth. However, the right stocks can offer you something more valuable than wealth. What does it offer you? You may be wondering. It offers you time. When choosing the right stocks, your wealth can grow so fast that you can unlock time freedom years sooner than your peers. And if this is a goal of yours, let me know by gently tapping that like button below. For instance, let's say you took the time a decade ago to look into this company called Tesla. After doing some research, you found it to be an intriguing company and decided to invest $10,000 into it, hoping things would work out. Well, as soon as you know, they would, and to extreme proportions. A single $10,000 investment in Tesla 10 years ago would now be worth $1.3 million, which would have most people well on their way to early retirement. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Adam, this is a very extreme example, and you're right. However, the point is, when you spend more time researching companies and educating yourself, there are opportunities to expedite your wealth building process. And while not all stocks will be winners, many will outperform the market year after year. Therefore, if you want to build wealth in a hurry, researching and buying the right individual stocks is a path to this ultimate end goal. Number 3. Real estate. Many frugal people love to live a life of simplicity, and when it comes to assets, real estate may be as simple as it gets. Now, this isn't meant to be a derogatory statement, and in fact is only one of the many benefits that investing in real estate can offer. You see, you hear it all the time, that real estate can make for a prudent investment. However, few truly understand just how life-changing the right real estate investment can be. For example, let's say that right before the pandemic, you were able to scrape together enough money to buy your first home. You bought a home for $300,000, and then you continued on with your life. Well, in just 2 years' time, if your home rose in value comparative to the rest of the US market, your home's value and overall net worth would have risen by 35%, or over $100,000, simply based on this one investment alone. Plus, with real estate, the options for monetization are endless. With a property, you can rent it out in the short term as an Airbnb, in the long term to a live-in tenant, or flip it and cash in on its appreciation. You see, being frugal is about more than just spending your money wisely. It's about having options. And as you can see, real estate offers numerous options for making money, which is why it is such a highly touted investment amongst the financial world. Number 4. Index funds. If you want to take advantage of one of the easiest, most reliable methods of building wealth over time, then look no further than index funds. Now, if you're unfamiliar with index funds, let me give you a brief breakdown of what this amazing type of asset is all about. Simply put, an index fund is a type of mutual fund or exchange-traded fund, ETF, with a portfolio constructed to match or track the components of a financial market index, such as the S&P 500 or the Nasdaq. In short, you're buying an asset that allows you to replicate the financial results of the whole market, rather than owning a single company within the market instead. Now, why is this such a popular purchase for frugal investors? Let me explain. First, most index funds have provided very handsome returns over time, which is of course the main reason people love to invest in them. For example, the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, or the VOO, has provided an average return of over 14% since its inception. But this type of return is really only one of the many elements that entices so many frugal investors. Perhaps just as important of a factor in this investment decision is how hands-off this type of investing can be. You see, most frugal people are not only frugal with their money, but with their time as well. They are adept time managers who try and maximize how and where they spend their time. Now, some love to spend their free time researching stocks and following the market, but realistically, most don't, and that's okay. Because that's where index funds come into play. You can literally pick an index fund, set up automated contributions, and see your wealth grow over time. It's truly that simple, and it's for this reason that index funds are a massively popular purchase amongst the frugal crowd. Number 5. Books. Have you ever noticed that people who make a lot of money tend to read a lot of books? I'm sure you have. And that's because where you are financially and where you want to be comes down to acquiring knowledge. Now, sadly, most of us were brought up to hate reading. I remember being in elementary school and high school, and being forced to read books that could instantly put you to sleep and textbooks that made you want to rip your eyes out. Well, unfortunately, this cultivated hatred for reading is holding most people back from becoming wealthy, but not the frugal people among us. They understand that the more you learn, the more you earn, and in many cases, the results can be shocking. I know for myself personally, when I read Money, Master the Game by Tony Robbins, I learnt that using a financial advisor at my investment rate of $1,000 a month would cost me over $500,000 in fees over the course of my life, and that I could cut that cost down dramatically by investing in index funds myself. Imagine that, a single book saved me from wasting hundreds of thousands of dollars for the cost of what, $20? This exact example is why so many frugal people read, and I'll be sharing more of the best financial books I've read in upcoming videos, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Number 6. Online courses. Is it just me, or does it seem like everyone is selling an online course these days? Well, while I can't speak to the quality of every single online course out there, what I can tell you is that the right online course can radically change your financial situation for the better, and frugal people are definitely aware of that fact. You see, most of us were brought up worshipping the value of formal education. We were told that to be successful, we must get good grades, get a degree, and move into a secure, well-paying job. Unfortunately, that life path is becoming less lucrative by the day for 2 reasons. First, formal education is becoming widely expensive, and second, jobs are rarely paying enough to keep up with the rising costs around us. Fortunately for those who take advantage of them, online courses can help save the day. Here's why. First, unlike college classes, online courses offer the benefit of timely information. If you've gone to college, you know that what the professors teach you is often from a time before you were born, and this begs the question of how relevant that information is in the current world we live in today. Not to mention, formal education is often not the cutting edge of what skills are presently in demand. For instance, you're much more likely to find online courses on blockchain programming or digital marketing than at your local college. Now, this isn't to say that frugal people avoid formal education like the plague, but use online courses to complement the education they already have. And when you continuously stack valuable skills on top of one another, you're bound to grow richer over time. Number 7. Other people's time. Do you ever feel like there are simply not enough hours in the day? Most people feel this way, but not the frugal among us. For most frugal people, it's not financial freedom that they hold in the highest regard, but time freedom instead, and one of the ways to gain more time is to buy it off of others. You see, one of the most powerful and least talked about wealth-building techniques is the use of time arbitrage. This is where you pay for other people's time and use your freed up time to make more money and collect the difference in profit. Here's an example. Let's say that you can make $100 an hour writing code for your clients. However, you have a house and your wife hates when you let it get too dirty, so she tasks you with the weekly chore of keeping it clean. You, like most people, hate cleaning and feel like it's the worst 2 hours of your week. Well, one day you decide to hire a cleaning service that will clean your whole house in 2 hours for just $100. Great! Then with this freed up time, you decide to do a bit of work for a client and send out a bill for $200. Doing so is what we call time arbitrage, and rather than spending 2 hours cleaning, you profited $100 and avoided cleaning your toilet all at the same time. This is the power of buying other people's time, and the more money you spend freeing up your time to generate more money, the wealthier you will ultimately become. In fact, this is a trick I learned from studying some of the richest people in the world. And if you want to learn other frugal habits of the rich, click on this next video and let's get started.